Congratulations to Justin Morrison. It was a sweep for the Brooking Angus crew. Your Brooking Angus Ranch is taking home champion. That is Brooking Gold Coin 8069 from Brooking Angus Ranch and ZWT Ranch entry 1149. He was your senior champion yearling. Your reserve champion is the intermediate yearling champion 1144 Rimitol F Renown 312F. They're also going home with prizes from Alta Genetics and Top Stock Magazine. Congratulations to those families. I think we're going to roll right into our breeders herd. But Rob, you guys couldn't have been more patient. Thank you, Judge Tyson Hertz. I think we're ready for comments in ring one.
Well, congratulations to the Black Angus exhibitors. We've kind of been peeking over the ring as the day's been going on, and it's an excellent set of cattle on that side. I think we got a really, really good class of white females here. And I think the trio that we start with all are really, really unique, and it becomes more personal preference things and just nitpicky things that I see in these cattle, and that's why I sorted them the way I do. I really like the female to win the class. She's level, she's balanced, she's really well designed, and I think the thing I like the best about her is she's sound at the ground with a really, really good teat size and placement underneath her. You know, when we're talking about the maternal traits in these cattle, and we're, you know, at home when we're sorting through cattle and culling cows, you know, it's always feet and udders, feet and udders, feet and udders, and so on. When you can find one like that that's really good on both of those deals, you just got to tie into them. Would you like her just a little softer sided? Maybe, but I think that's a pretty dang good one to start the class. I swapped this middle pair here after looking at them a little bit longer. I think they're really two different types of females, and the female in third definitely probably would pattern the class winner a little bit better, but I just like the stretch and the length, not only length of spine, but length of front end that we find in our second place female. She's really tall at the point of her shoulder. She's really alert, and I really like how high she ties at the top of that scapula. For me, when you get off her, she's probably a female that's really, you can appreciate when you're about 10 feet away, but as you get further off of her, she gets a little rougher in her lines over top and underneath with just a little bit of navel, and just a little rougher in her overall presentation. But I think a female that you really have to admire for that stretch and the grow. We just want to see her a little smoother in her makeup and just shorten her teats up just a little bit at this stage of the game. And now the young man's heifer we find in third, she's really, really round and heavy muscled and just opens up with a lot of true dimension right from the base at the ground all the way up to the top. With that being said, we need to stretch her out from her shoulders forward, give her a little more length in neck, and probably lengthen her out in her hip as well. But I think a female that just in terms of muscle mass and really a shapely design, this is one to tie into. The young man's heifer we find in fourth, a female that I also really probably would pattern with our second place female, just being a little plainer and not quite the hair that some of these other ones have, but she's really flat shouldered. And a nice maternal design to her rib cage. We need to design her just a little bit differently at the ground and shorten up her toes for my personal preference today. And then the heifer that we round the class off with, again, we're kind of going back and forth. She's the shapely one that would pair with the third place one, really round in her muscle design. Again, we want to see her feet just designed a little differently at the ground.
Thanks, Judge Hertz. First place entry 1282, KR Landon Cattle Limited. Casey Phillips and family with KR Farron 814F will advance to our junior championship at the completion of our second split of yearling heifers, and she'll be joined by entry 1287, Elders Nataline 8092F from Elder Charolais. Marking your show program on the first split of our yearling heifers, the junior Charolais female division, entry 1287 is second, 1281 fifth, 1289 fourth, 1285 third, and 1282 first in class. Next up, a class of 5 yearling heifers comprising our second split of the 2-split junior division.
And over in ring 2, we just have one more presentation to make. Of course, we want to congratulate our Black Angus breeders herd. champion, and they are receiving an award, compliments of Belvin Angus. So thank you to our sponsor, Belvin Angus. And of course, I think that that is being presented with our judge in the ring. I mean, it's just all such a coincidence. We want to also make an announcement that our Black Angus Premier Breeder and Premier Exhibitor Awards, it was hotly contested. Of that, there is no doubt. It was an extraordinarily competitive and high-quality Black Angus show, and we are excited to present two banners, Doran Marketing to the Premier Breeder and Poplar Meadows Angus to the Premier Exhibitor. They are both being presented to Miller Wilson Angus of Bashaw. To the entire Wilson family, congratulations, and that'll do it for us here in ring number 2. Congratulations again to all of our champions. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and I'm sure that the Angus exhibitors, both black and red, will welcome everyone back to the barns for some networking and some socialization.
Just a note to our Charolais exhibitors, after this class we have our junior championship, and then there is one cow-calf class that will also double as our senior championship, and we're right into our grand champion Charolais female. So if you have junior, intermediate, or senior champion Charolais heifer calves, please be thinking about having them to the hitching ring within probably 15 minutes, because we'll be into our grand champion Charolais female class in 15 to 20 minutes. And on our second split of yearling heifers, folks, in our Charolais show, comments from Judge Hertz.
This is definitely the stronger of the two yearling heifer classes that we saw today, and the quality just runs a lot deeper. in my opinion, and that's just my opinion, I think a pretty elite one to win this deal. She's not only well presented, but she's a heck of a heifer. She's really good through the center portion of her body, really flexible off of both ends. Again, it's just getting nitpicky. It's just, you know, the little things I see is just that on her back too, we'd like to see her with a little more heel and maybe round that foot just a little bit, but that's a pretty dang good one that sorts up pretty quickly. I really like this heifer here in second, just from a problem-free heifer. I think she's probably as good at the ground as well in terms of her angles. Doesn't really wow you with a really elite show ring look that we find at the top end, but I think just a really good, fundamentally sound female that's correct in her angles, good in her rib shape, and just functional in her appearance. Really like the way her udder's coming in and being really refined and appropriate in her teat size and placement. This young lady's heifer we come to in third, a female that's really out there. She probably either has to win this class or end up in third, and she is laboring around the ring just ever so slightly today. And then I asked the young lady if there was a previous injury that maybe was re-aggravated. I know the flooring is suspect sometimes in here if you hit a bad spot. She is laboring off that back hind leg just a little bit, but a female that's really out there, and sometimes those are the unique breeding pieces that you put back in the herd, and they'll sometimes lay down and give you that really, really good one if you put them on the right bull. And I think this young lady's heifer is something to be very proud of, with really, really unique pieces. For me, I just want to see her a little better in her heart girth and a little square out of her hip. And then again, we talked about how she's getting around the ring today. We just want to make sure that that's just an injury and not a structure issue, which I don't think it is, but I got to judge them as I see them here today, and that's one thing I noticed. A pair of heifers that just kind of hit you with that brood cow look here that round out the class, a little plainer and more common from their shoulders forward, but I think females that once you put them into production, I really like. In terms of an udder development standpoint on both of them, I think they're appropriate in those two areas. For me, I think they just get a little softer in their spine, and I hate grouping two together, but these two are so similar in their type and kind that they're just a little rougher from their shoulders forward, but I think really practical, big-bodied, lots of rib in these females that I think these young ladies should be proud of for sure. A really nice heifer to start this class.
Many thanks, Judge Hertz. First place, BRCHE Berkeley Ann, 8507 PLDET, entry 1290 from Prairie Cove Charolais. The Bullocks of Bashaw with our class winner of our second split of yearlings, advancing to our next class, the Junior Championship. And she'll be joined by JIL Starstruck 13F from Future Farms, the Marshall family, down Red Deer County Way, right near Bowden, with entry number 1280. If you're marking a show program on the second split of yearling heifers in our Charolais show, entry 1290 is first, 1284 third, 1283 fourth, 1233 fifth, and entry 1280 stands second in class. We will move right into our Junior Division Championship, where our top two of each of the two yearling classes will be coming back in to vie for the opportunity to participate in the Grand Champion Female Drive. And as they come into the ring, we'll reintroduce you to our first class winner, KR Farron 814F, entry 1282 from KR Land and Cattle Limited, the Phillips family of Wassetna, Alberta, second in that class, entry number 1287 from Elder Charolais, Elders Nataline 8092F. And our class winner from the second split, BRCHE Berkeley Ann 8507 Pole DT, entry 1290 from Prairie Cove Charolais. And second place in that class from Future Farms, JIL Starstruck 13F, entry 1280. This is in ring number one of our Charolais show, our Junior Champion Female class. And entry 1290, it's actually kind of a sweep, folks. Entry 1290 is our Junior Champion. Entry 1282, our Reserve. Entry 1290 from Prairie Cove Charolais and co-owned by KR Land and Cattle. and KR with entry number 1282 having the reserve junior champion. So